the gameplay, which I made the bow like that to actually look like a canoe or close to it. And the red things like normal buoys. I didn't really manage to do a full course. I do have acceleration, deceleration, rotation, and some graphics. Oh. Okay, I actually forgot how to stop. Alright, and we can press escape to actually escape the whole thing. Now for the code part of it. Within the code, call the libraries from above. I define pi for the formulas below, which are used for rotation. The next three values are static, thus they start with the value and later on will be changed by moving the boat by actually pressing keys. The other one, the fourth one, is a boolean, which is only there to verify if an object is moving or not, depending on which key is pressed. Next bit of code is for the boat, which actually draws the boat. It is drawn from two separate objects, from two cones, solid cones, made to be similar to a canoe, and they start basically at the same point, though they are rotated afterwards to point in different directions. The next one is for the buoys, a formula which is made so that I can put more buoys one after another in a row with the same color, all of them, and the same shape as the boat. The next bit of code is to set up the background, the color, and the depth and its depth. Afterwards, we have the formula for the acceleration, which checks where the boat's next position will be by seeing its speed, its current speed. The next bit of code is to actually draw the scene, starting with the camera, which with this formula is linked to the boat. They'll always be at the same pace with the boat and actually stay on target. Afterwards, we've got where the boat is positioned, where the starting point is, and afterwards we've got where the starting point of the boat is by the value of the static values, by the value of x, y, and the angle. Those will be later changed by pressing keys to actually move the boat and change its position. Afterwards, we've got the water, which in this case is only a plane, which is from on the x-axis from minus 600 to plus 600, and on the y same, so it is a square with the color blue given by the color. Afterwards, we've got 4 blocks of code chunks of code. Afterwards, we've got 4 chunks of code which create the buoys. The first one creates the left side of the track, of the first part of the track, with 8 buoys, the second one with 10 on the right side. And afterwards, by rotating them, and instead of them being upwards, they're gonna be sideways, the buoys turn, and thus you've got again the right side first this time, and afterwards the left side of the corner. The next chunk of code, the if and else if statement, are used for the acceleration. The if statement is used to check if the object is in motion, and thus accelerating, giving it more speed over time, and giving it the plus 0.01. If it isn't in motion and the speed is above 0, which after an acceleration it would be, the speed starts to deaccelerate, thus giving it the implication of friction. The next line of code is the actual function which checks the position of the boat with the speed from the acceleration, and afterwards putting it in that position. The next block of code is for the window on which the scene is actually shown, and the viewport. A block of code which refers to the input of the keys, in this case the exit, which by pressing escape you exit the actual scene. Afterwards, we've got another block of code for the keys up, down, left, and right. The left and right keys, if they are pressed, the angle changes by, as shown, 5 by 5, and thus giving the boat rotation. While if up and down are pressed, the boat either moves forward with up or backwards with down. Bit of code checks if the up key and down key are released, thus transforming the value in is moving to false, as opposed to earlier, which made it true. And those allow it to actually change the acceleration when the is moving boolean value is changed as well. And for the last block of code, which is main, and calls all the functions above within one and makes the scene actually happen. Thank you, and have a good night. Thank you. The next block of code uses all the functions above to create the scene and make the objects within the scene move. In this case, only the boat, but help. And makes the objects within the scene move, or within more complex code, interact with collisions and animation.